Pompey Sound. Updates, the latest from Fratton Park, on the hour, every hour. Fueled by Piglet's Pantry. Click pigletspantry.co.uk to get your fill.
Recent reports from Football Insider linking Charlie Savage to Portsmouth appear to be wide of the mark, with the news confirming the Reading midfielder isn't on Pompey's summer wish list. While the 22-year-old has impressed at Reading with 96 appearances and solid attacking returns, 12 goals and 15 assists, over 2 seasons since leaving Manchester United, he won't be heading to Fratton Park, despite supposed interest from Birmingham, Wrexham and Blackburn for the £2 million rated player. Pompey are definitely in the market for 2 central midfielders after losing loanees Freddie Potts and Isaac Hayden back to their parent clubs. The current options look thin on the ground, with Andre Dazelle and Marlon Pack the only established players in that position. Andre had his moments last season, doing enough to trigger a contract extension, though he barely featured in the run-in. Pack's role shifted dramatically after a defeat at Cardiff last October, with the midfielder spending most of his time filling in at centre-back rather than his natural position. Young Terry Devlin could step up, but manager John Mousinho sees him primarily as a right-back, a position he's played for Northern Ireland. He was an unused sub in their recent 2-1 friendly loss to Denmark. Meanwhile, Abdulissa Kamara has completely fallen off the radar since January, failing to make the squad since the FA Cup exit at Wycombe.
So where are we? We know that we need some central midfielders, as simple as that. We know that. Everybody knows that. Everybody are in the stands and everybody on the pitch, all the squad, the management. There's people in California who know that we need some central midfield players, simple as that. But those conversations are being had, those players that we have in mind who are good enough to come in and do the job that we want and who have the possibility of advancing, developing as players and therefore developing as assets to the club, both on the pitch and in the bank, if you like. Those things are being assessed and reassessed. And no doubt that there are lots and lots of backs of envelopes in various different people's offices around the training ground and at Fratton Park, where names are being scribbled. And the very latest news about their possible availability is also being scribbled. So I think what we have to say is that it's important that reporters, journalists keep us posted on what the latest rumours are, but we have to be clear in our own mind that these things are rumours and that there are much more solid conversations and possibilities taking shape behind the scenes. We have to do, as fans, we have to do one of the hardest things as far as that goes. We don't know what's going on. We're not entitled to know what's going on because that could destabilise negotiations. We just have to be patient. Aberdeen Live is this afternoon reporting this.
Aberdeen has announced its 4th signing of the summer as they welcome Australian striker Kusini Yengi to the club. The striker joins the Dons after spending 2 years at Portsmouth, having been at the EFL Championship side since 2023. He departed the club upon the expiration of his contract at the end of the 2024-25. Discussing the new signing, Jimmy Thielin said, "We were quite specific about the type of profile we had identified to play as a striker for Aberdeen, and Kusini has a lot of the qualities we were after. He is tall, strong and quick. He will work hard for the team and lead the line. He has also proven at both Portsmouth and with the Socceroos that he can score goals on a consistent basis."
And good luck to him. We remember fondly him on the pitch and also that classy farewell message that he texted to Portsmouth just 24 hours ago, when presumably he pretty much knew that the ink was dry on the contract and that he had found a club, which must be a great relief to a player who, has got to pay the bills, got to make a living, got to make as much money out of football whilst he's able to play as he possibly can. So he doesn't want to be twiddling his thumbs into the new year, and he's found himself a club. And it can be no coincidence that he is going north of the border to play in Scottish football, which is where his bruv plays. Tete Yengi plays for Livingston. He is slightly younger than Kusini. He's 6'5". He's a striker. He's played in Australia for the Newcastle Jets, and then he came over to this country to seek his fortune. He joined Ipswich. This is Tete Yengi, Kusini's younger brother. He then joined VPS on loan and then Northampton on loan, KUPS on loan, and then went to Livingston. And he signed a 2-year contract at Livingston. Now, they're not going to be neighbours. Some people south of the border don't realise that Scotland is quite a big place. And actually, the journey time by car, even a good one, from Aberdeen to Livingston, if they want to meet up for a meal and a laugh, is 2.5 hours. But it's a lot closer, is Aberdeen to Livingston than Portsmouth is. So there's unquestionably been some conversations had, if not just by those two, but perhaps with the wider Yengi family, about how nice it is to be close and to be closer to your relatives and family than you once were. So no great surprise that he's gone to Aberdeen. Good club, Aberdeen. Didn't they win the European Cup or something once under some bloke called Alex Ferguson? Something like that. Good big history. Lots of oil money in and around Aberdeen. Whether that filters down to the people and the fans and the club remains for us to be seen, because we will keep half an eye on Cassini Yengi, hoping the best, hoping that he flourishes in Aberdeen, but somehow also hoping that he doesn't flourish too much, because we don't want to find ourselves in a position of having to listen to people saying we should never have let him go. As he said, don't be sad, be glad it happened. Love, Cass.
Andy Cullen is talking about an extra pre-season friendly, saying this: there is a chance of a Fratton Park friendly. It's something we are actively looking to do, and we are in discussions with clubs abroad, with 1 or 2 other options as well. This year we will have the ability to play a home friendly, although it comes down to the opposition. That weekend, League 1 and League 2 starts, so it reduces the pool of British teams you can play. Also, while the Premier League doesn't kick off until August 16th, some 90% of them are playing away in Asia or USA tournaments, which tends to happen these days. We're looking at how we can potentially bring in other opposition of a sufficient quality and standard which you need in that last game before the season starts. If we cannot make that happen because we cannot get that opposition, which could well be international opposition, then we may need to look at an alternative away from Fratton Park. However, the preference is certainly to make something happen on August 2nd at Fratton Park, and that's what we are actively working on at the moment, with a few potential opportunities. It all comes down to making sure the quality of the game meets what the first team require as part of their final preparation for the season.
Yeah, I think we all know and understand what the requirement is for that last pre-season friendly. We play a team who is at least as good as us, roughly. If they're a little bit better than us, then so much the better. It's a game where nobody is going to want to get injured, and I'm sure the management make it clear to the players that no silly 50-50s. There's nothing at stake here. You're placing the side, even the starting 11 for the first game of the season in a week's time or whatever. It will not be dependent on what you do in this game. What we're looking at is obviously giving as many of our squad a run out as possible in as close a mirroring of the kind of atmosphere that you'll be playing in the following week and then for the next 6-8 months. So we've got to get that, give the players an opportunity to get their feel for the game at the highest level. They're the highest level they will play this season. Get that finessed. So a team that were slightly above us in the Championship would be perfect last season. Or, of course, we've got to persuade somebody to come over from Holland, say, or France, say, for example, Germany, say. And they, obviously, so you look at the calendar of domestic fixtures in those countries to see who might be available, if anybody is available. And then you've got to persuade them, look, we want to play at Fratton Park. That means you are going to have to do a trip. You're going to have to do a flight. You're going to have to do things that you don't normally do before an away game. I mean, you stay in hotels, yes, and you ride around on luxury coaches, yes. But getting transported to the airport and flying in a plane and getting picked up at the other end and taken to a hotel or whatever, however they do it, it's a slightly bigger ask than getting on the blower and saying to Bristol City, do you fancy coming down and giving your lot a blow and we'll give our lot a blow. That's one set of arrangements. But if they are, and I'm going to say reduced to having to ask an international side to come over here, then that's just a slightly bigger ask. And what would they want? Would they want a slightly higher than the usual percentage of the gate receipts? I don't know. I have no idea whether that can be done or whether it would hold any sway with them. Are there clubs that Pompey have got good links with? We've got very good links with Australia, but they ain't going to be coming over here. We're not going to get a club side from the A-League, Australia, to come over here and play us, are we? Are we? What will be in it for them? Goodness knows. Anyhow, it's good to know that work and effort is being made to provide us with an exciting pre-season friendly to look forward to on August the 2nd. So good luck to all involved there.